Now to Toronto, we're hearing from union members in the Metro grocery store workers' strike that began today.
Go ahead.
Good morning and solidarity from one of our 27 picket lines here across the GTA at Metro stores. This morning, 3,700 Unifor members took to the picket line after rejecting a tentative agreement. I want to say, first and foremost, thank you very much to the bargaining committee who bargained hard and brought back a deal to our members that was the best agreement in decades. But unfortunately, we are living in a time right now where working people, particularly working people at grocery stores, are just not making ends meet. Interest rates, inflation, CEO profits soaring, profits in terms of what corporations are gaining, soaring, while our members are struggling to get by. We have faced in the last couple of decades an erosion of jobs in supermarkets across the country. These used to be good paying, family supporting jobs. Now at Metro stores, 70% of the jobs are part-time. 70%. It's worse in Loblaws and Sobeys. Much worse. Who can support a family on a part-time job earning an average of $16 to $17 an hour? The fact is, you can't. So our members, 3,700 of them, the largest strike in Unifor's history, are fighting back to get a share of the profits that they help these companies earn. And that's what we're facing right now. And they have a lot of courage to give up their paycheck, as small as it is, in order to take a stand and say enough is enough. We need to share in the money that we help Metro earn. We've seen it day after day, their pandemic pay cut, slashed, in the middle of the pandemic. They risked their lives, their health, and their own safety to go to work every single day so that the rest of society could get the food that they needed to live on. And this is what we're facing right now. Workers are fighting back everywhere, across this country, across Europe, across the United States. They are saying enough is enough. Our members are saying enough is enough. Right now I want to introduce Gord Curry, who is the president of Local 414, who represents all of these Metro members and more retail workers throughout the province of Ontario. Brother Gord.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Listen, I just want to say this is definitely about money. And like Lana said, I don't want to repeat it, this has been going on for a long time. The system is broken here. We have folks in our own stores that can't even afford the groceries in these stores. They have to go to food banks. There's a problem with the governments, and it's going all the way up. And we need to start right here. And this just isn't about our 27 stores here and our 3,700 members. This is for grocery workers and retail people everywhere. We're sending a message to the governments, to the big companies, that enough is enough. And we have to have a living wage here. And our members are going to stay out here until this message gets to everyone. This is a fight that we're going to take, and we're going to help grocery workers everywhere in Canada. Thank you.
Any questions, folks?
Broken. How do you feel about the prospect of talking to some of your members, some of who we talked to today, who can't afford to even buy groceries at the place they work, but the CEO of Metro took home $5.6 million last year?
Exactly. Why do you think we're on the picket line right now? CEO pay has quadrupled for not just this CEO, but all across the country right now. Profits are a bigger share of our economy than at any point in our history in Canada. We can't go on like this. The economy cannot sustain itself when the people who are earning the paychecks can't afford to live, and all of the money is going to the top. This has to change. It has to change now, and it's starting with these brave workers. They're saying, no more. We've had it.
But on the flip side that could be said is you mentioned at the beginning that this was the best offer that you'd received in decades. Why not? I know that it was the workers that voted it down, but from the perspective of people looking from the outside looking in, what can be said about not taking it? Is that just, why not take it?
Yeah, I think, first of all, it would have been irresponsible of our union not to bring that deal back to our members. They had to make a decision on whether or not this was something they could support or not support. That, after all, is what collective bargaining is all about. We actually negotiate, and the final word goes to our members. And the reality is they agree that this was a better deal than they've seen in a very long time. It's just not enough. It's not enough for them to live on and to be able to support their families in the environment that we're seeing right now. And by the way, this is an issue that has been, I would argue, decades in the making. The problems that these grocery stores and grocery barons have created here is that they have eroded work in these workplaces over many decades. And eventually, that is going to come back. That kind of treatment is going to come back and haunt you, and this is that day.
If you were to summarize the top sort of 2 or 3 things that, if they came back with this, would get your members off the picket line, would make them feel hopeful that a deal has been reached, what would you say are the top 3 things?
The issue is money, and money up front.
Money up front. Yeah.
What would that look like though? If it's $16, $17 for, like, say the people stocking. I know cashiers get a little bit more of a bump comparatively, but what's the starting point? What is a livable wage?
I'm not going to say what the final deal is going to be that our members can accept. They're going to decide that. If I was the company right now, I'd be coming back to the bargaining table, recognizing the moment we're in, the same way that we are as a union, the same way that working people have recognized all across this country. If they want to be able to do better, this is the kind of action that is often required. And frankly, this is, as I've said, a problem that has been 3 decades in the making. Jobs being eroded, too much part-time work, not enough high-quality jobs with benefits and all of the things that we need in our lives to be able to support our families. And you can only do that for so long before people push back. And our members are right now pushing back and pushing back hard.
The CEOs for many of these companies, the big 3, of course, when they're testifying before Parliament, they've said continuously that the margins, the profit margins, are razor thin in grocery stores. That being said, the first quarter profit that Metro posted was $218 million this year. Is that razor thin in your mind, and do you think that they have room to be able to give more money?
Who believes this razor thin argument? I don't believe it. The world doesn't believe it. They've been jacking up grocery prices for the last 3 years. The biggest part of inflation in this country comes from the fact that there's price gouging going on in every single grocery store in the country. And as a result, they've seen huge profits. Their profits have gone up year over year over year. Last year, Metro pulled in almost $1 billion in profits. Loblaws way more than that. These are not companies that are hurting for a buck. And by the way, if they were, their CEO pay wouldn't be doubling and tripling either. These folks need to get a share of the wealth that they're creating. Simple as that.
So Metro has said they're extremely disappointed that employees have rejected this deal. What's the communication been like in the last few hours?
Well, we haven't been communicating with them yet. We've been doing the work of getting our picket lines set up. Obviously, we'll make an attempt to have a conversation with the company, get back to the bargaining table. But, they need to take this seriously, as does every corporation in this country right now. We're living in a different moment. Working people are fighting back everywhere, from the ports of Vancouver to grocery store workers here to, Teamster workers in the United States. This is not just happening here at Metro stores. It is the moment that we're in. And, you can only push it so long where Corporations are doing so well, the CEOs are doing so well, and workers are getting crumbs. That is not going to work anymore.
Last year with QP, teachers and the associations there, we had PSAC following that. We've had a bunch of different strikes. We were almost on the verge of a general strike in Ontario.
Yes.
We've seen, as you mentioned, in the States, the port strike in BC. Can you just speak to the moment that labor workers are having now in reclaiming some of that power, which, disproportionately over the past 40, 60 years has largely gone to corporations?
Yeah, I mean, you're stating exactly what is happening. We've seen many decades of workers just not keeping pace. Most families now have to have two people working full-time or more. Many families in this city, for example, have 3 and 4 jobs in order to get by. That is the reality of the world we're living in. And once you go through a pandemic like we just did in the world, and all of a sudden workers realize this economy, this world does not work without us, nothing was clearer in the pandemic than that. And as a result, workers are feeling empowered.
Collectively, where do you think the labor movement is working? Because these things, as much as they're isolated incidents, as much as it's isolated and this is about Metro, it's not necessarily that, right? You see that kind of, whether it's reports or TV or anything, it all kind of has an effect on when people hear things and the power they can exercise. Can you speak to, I guess, where we could be headed in the next year or two as the face of Unifor?
Yeah, look, we've been seeing it in our union for at least 18 months to 2 years right now. Last year, we had more disputes across Unifor than we had in our history. The year before that was a historic year of strikes, small strikes, but nonetheless, workers saying we're standing up and fighting for more right now because this is not working for us. And I don't see it ending anytime soon. The reality is corporations are going to have to wake up to the moment that we're in. Workers have to have a share of the pie.
What would it take to get to end the strike? Is it them following us?
You've been listening to Unifor officials representing Metro
We'll see.
grocery store
We're gonna
workers.
bargain
All
at that.
27 Metro stores in the Greater Toronto area are closed as 3,700 workers begin job action in what the union national president called the largest strike in the union's history. Wages a big sticking point, workers not making ends meet. They're calling on top brass at Metro to share some of their soaring profits. And there are calls for more full-time jobs. Lana Payne there saying 70% of the jobs at Metro are part-time. By the way, Metro says its pharmacies will remain open during the strike.